hello, and welcome back to Flash Knockdown, a Matchroom Boxing Podcast, which was started way back in 2022. But here we are. We've hit the big time, and we have finally, from promoter Eddie Hearn, been given the budget to bring this to life on YouTube in a studio. For those listening over on the audio platforms, Apple and Spotify, welcome back to you all. Great to have you back. We are so happy to be back. But for those watching on YouTube, this is going to be a lot of fun. Episode 1 in a weekly 12-part series, talking about everything that's going on behind the scenes at Matchroom, all the upcoming shows, reflecting on all the big nights and some behind-the-scenes stories as well. As far as episode 1 goes, though, here's what's coming up for you all on today's show. Yes, you do not want to miss this. Ishmael Davis and Caoimhin Agyarko join us together on the sofa in the studio ahead of September 13th's grudge match in Belfast. Pat McCormack, ahead of Saturday's headliner in Sunderland, also joins us to preview all the upcoming action this week in the Northeast. Eddie Hearn also joins us on the blower for a little catch-up. I take a look around the Clearer Twist National Stadium at Windsor Park with the Jackal, Mr. Carl Frampton, who looks ahead to Lewis Crocker versus Paddy Donovan 2 and talks his memories of fighting at the National Stadium. And of course, there's all the usual chat, quizzes, utter nonsense, and much more that comes with Flash Knockdown. Do not go anywhere. And as you're not going anywhere, please give us a like, subscribe, and a rating across your preferred podcast platforms. Well, one thing we wanted to do on Flash Knockdown is bring back some good memories, perhaps like the old ringside show that boxing fans loved and enjoyed throughout the years. And that's exactly what we're doing here on episode 1. Massive fight coming up September 13th from Windsor Park in Belfast. A little bit of bad blood, lots at stake. Ishmael Davis versus Caoimhin Agyarko. Join us in the studio next. Have a little look at this.
He knows why I called him a shouts. Like, he knows. He'd be signed with Matchroom still if he wanted shouts.
Taking Caoimhin to deep waters, man. It's nothing personal, Caoimhin. It's just business, boy.
You will have to nail me to that canvas for me to not come away with my hands raised. I promise you that. Nobody is outworking me. Nobody.
Okay, gents. Here we go. I must say, look, as a boxing fan, this is what the fans love to see. I feel like we see too many face-offs these days. This is a little bit different. To have you both in the studio is wonderful. This is a great fight that a lot of fans are very excited for. Ish, I want to come to you first, because although Caoimhin's the man with the belt, this fight is Davis versus Agyarko. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to you that we're very, very close now to the opening bell?
Listen, it's good, man. This is what boxing needs. You know, athletes, we need to be professional. Obviously, it's all right to have a bit of bad blood because we're both fighting in it. Like, we have to build a little bit of hate for each other, and then, you know, get it on, and then shake hands after the fight. What's
it for you, Caoimhin? Is this personal? Is it bad blood? Where does this come from? Because there has been a lot of back and forth on social media.
Strictly business, Jamie. I'm going to go out September 13th, get the win, and wish Ishmael Davis all the best. You know what I mean? It's nothing personal. We should the ring sparring. Do you know what I mean? Comment on each other's Instagram stuff. For me, it's never personal. Do you know what I mean? No matter who I fight, it's never personal. Before the fight, I'll wish them the best, and after the fight, I'll wish them the best. Do you know what I mean? And if they're not an opponent of me, I'll want to see them succeed. But on September 13th, Ishmael Davis is standing in my way of achieving my dreams of becoming the first Black Irish World Champion, and that's the person I have to get through to achieve my dreams. So it's going to be a good fight. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's good to have a bit of back and forth. You know me, I like to keep things respectful. But yeah, there's been a bit of stuff on social media bubbling. It brings entertainment, and I think this fight's going to be the fight in the night for the fans. I think our styles are going to gel really, really well, and yeah, I can't wait for September 13th.
Ish, what do you think of Caoimhin as a person from what you do know?
Look, I got nothing against Caoimhin. It's not personal to me, like I said before. I just believe we've got a different heart. Like, I show more heart in and out the ring, you know, and I just don't like the lying It's not, I ain't got naught against him, but it's just, there's a few things that are not facts. And me, I'm a real person. If I felt like if I wanted to take a fight, if I didn't want to take a fight, or if something happens, and I'm real about it all, because there's one thing in life you have, and that's being real. And I'm always real. Like, I'm never gonna fake it. I'm not a bad person. And I just respect real people. And there's stories going about gyms where he's not wanting to spar certain people or not wanting to fight, or I don't know. But everyone's always got something to say in it about the way he's handling certain situations, and the way he's handled some situations I don't respect him, and some things that he says I don't respect him. So I open my mouth and say it.
What do you think of that? What's he
I
talking
think
about?
he says some people on stories, you want to know the facts, come to me. I never lie about anything. Like I said at the TalkSport interview there, he says you wouldn't take the fight on short notice against the two opponents he fought. I said, you're correct. I wouldn't take it because I have a dream of becoming the first Black Irish world champion. So if I get beat, it's going to be because that opponent was the best fighter on the night. Not because I only had 6 days to prepare or whatever else. So these stories of not wanting to spar people, do you know what I mean? Like I sparred Ishmael Davis with a snap ligament for a camp. I fought 2 fights with a snap ligament. Do you know what I mean? So I've sparred Billy Joe Saunders for the biggest fight of his career against Canelo Alvarez. So I don't get where these stories are coming from. So if people are just putting things out there to try and get in my head, it's just going to bounce straight off me and go somewhere else, you know what I mean? Because I know the facts, you know what I mean? Like, tell me who said this, tell me.
I don't need to put, Kevin, honestly, I don't need to say nothing to get in your head. I don't care, bro. Like, really, we're going to get in that ring and we're going to fight. It don't matter who said this or who said that. You know how you've handled situations. I don't know.
Give me an example.
So why did you get dropped from Matchroom?
I didn't.
So what did you do, leave?
Facts. My phone's right there. I can show you a 5-fight contract that Matchroom offered me before the Troy Williams fight. I turned it down because Matchroom came out and said that I was turning down the fight. I wasn't turning down the fight. I said I'll fight Troy Williamson at the end of the year because I snapped the ligament and I wanted a warm-up fight after the Grant Dennis fight. Mm-hmm. Matchroom being Matchroom, which I get it, I turned the contract down after the Troy Williamson fight, didn't propose a new contract. I was thinking, I'll go beat the person that they're saying that I'm turning down. I will now get more money and better opportunities. They didn't present that. That's fair enough. They offered the fight against you for less money than I got for Troy Williamson. And I says, no, because my worth is up here now. So why am I going to go down here again?
Do you know what I mean? So prove it though. Like,
that's just facts. Do you know what I mean? So like people can say Matchroom didn't re-sign you or dropped you, whatever. I was out of contract with Matchroom and I turned down a 5-fight deal. That is just facts. I have the receipts. Simple as that. Do you know what I mean? After the Troy fight, they didn't offer me a new contract because I had already turned one down. So I don't know how that's me getting dropped. Do you know what I mean?
So you weren't turned down no fights?
I just told you I turned down.
What fight have you turned down? I don't know. Have you ever turned down fights? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and that's
I just told you Matchroom offered me
because
to fight you.
because of the money you weren't happy with. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's my career. It's planned out the way my manager and I want it to be. We're fighting.
You don't always go the way. Boxing is a weird sport. It doesn't go that way.
Okay, so Troy Williamson at the time was one of the most voided fighters in the weight division. I was touted to have turned the fight down against Troy. Mm-hmm. I then went and beat Troy. So my stock went from here to here. People, best win of your career, boxed unbelievable, well done, blah, blah, blah. To then get offered a fight for less money than a guy that I've just beat who I was turning down and was former British champion and most avoided. Obviously,
it's a risky fight.
Financially,
even you cannot say you do not know that this is a risky fight, bro.
Any fight is a risky fight.
Do you know what I mean? Because obviously
any fight's a risky fight. I've had a harder fight against a journeyman than I have against people who are unbeaten and British champions. My fight 3 fights ago was probably the hardest fight I've had in my career. I was against a journeyman.
So do you believe this is going to be the hardest fight?
No.
You don't?
Well, on paper, yes, 100%. It's my hardest fight. Do I believe that I have the ability to go out and make it my easiest fight? Yeah. Do I respect you as a fighter? Yeah. But do I think Caoimhin Agyarko was a better fighter? Yeah.
Cool.
Is Troy Williamson both of your best wins?
Yeah, of
How do
course.
you compare the resumes?
100%, man.
Yeah, I think Ishmael's fought the better people, but lost to the better people. That's fine. Like he stepped in on late notice.
But what you got to realize is, right, I had no amateur career, bro. No. So I'm coming out here. I fought Ewan, and then I fought an ex-British champion. So this is why I'm with Matchroom. And then, see me, I've just brought what I already had before boxing into boxing. So there's not a man that they can't ring me and say, do you want to fight this guy? And I'm going to say no, because like you're saying, yeah, you said to me in Talk Sport, you said, oh, I'm not doing this for the money. But then you just told me you turned me down because the money wasn't right. But so this is what I'm on about. This is what I'm on about facts of it not making sense.
I was at a different stage in my career. Like I've given you a flawless for stepping out. I respect that. Mm-hmm. You're a fighting man. I can tell that. But like, there's no like, oh, he's like, I'm not taking away from, oh, he stepped in on late notice. He's been beat by these two people. Yeah, they're very good opponents. Do you know what I mean? One's on probably fringe of world level, and one has been.
But
there.
you know what it is though, bro. You know when you're saying stuff like, I don't lose on short notice fights.
Yeah.
You know, before saying that, don't you think like, all right, cool, I fought 2 weeks before, and the level, like, obviously, Bochuk is, I don't even think even if you were prepared, you'd fight Bochuk. Agyarko, honestly.
What am I unboxing for?
Bro, I don't believe if you had 3 months, you would step in there.
What am I unboxing for?
That's my fault.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I believe. I don't believe it.
So I've been boxing for 20 years. Yeah, my dream is to become the first Black Irish world champion. Yeah, I've been in the ring in the amateurs and professionals with some of the best fighters in the world. Whether that's actually fighting them or whether that's in sparring, I fear no man. I'm not scared of losing, because I know to get to my dreams, I'm gonna have to go through walls, go through absolute hell to achieve what I want to achieve in this sport. Being a world champion isn't easy, or everyone would be it. Do you know what I'm saying? So to say that I wouldn't fight, I've been calling for the Basparoos after the Troy Williamson fight, who's now the WBA interim champion.
Basparoos not on Bochuk's level, bro.
No, but I'm saying like people that, well, he's the interim world champion. So I want to fight whoever's got that title, or whoever he had the European title. That's what I wanted to go for. I called a Basparoo. Fight didn't happen. He's now interim world champion. So like people at that level, whoever's in front of me, that's who I'm looking for. Bochuk, or whatever you call him, is in front of me at that time. That's who I'm going to call for. Do you know what I mean? So that's your opinion. No problem at all. I respect it, but I just don't agree with it.
A loss doesn't define you as well, bro.
No,
that's what you need to understand. Like the greatest boxers, there's only one that's gone through the whole career really without a loss. That's Floyd Mayweather. The rest of them, great boxers, had losses. So like, there's no shame in losing. Look at me now. I've lost
many a times in the amateurs. I know that. Do you know what I mean? I know his professional games are different, but I've lost many a times. I'm not scared of losing. Do you know what I mean? So there's no need to worry about it. I don't ever think about it. It's not on my mind about losing. I'm prepared for the best and the worst.
Be prepared to lose on September 30th.
No, it's not going to happen.
Trust me.
Does the sparring matter?
No.
Sparring don't matter, but I just, sparring don't matter because it's sparring, innit? You got head guard on and you got big gloves. So that already.
Not me. I don't wear head guards.
Nah, you took it off. You took your head guard off. You had a head guard on. But it's like the big gloves and the head guard, it's a lot of protection. In there, we've got 10-ounce gloves on, and it's your head getting hit. So,
can you take anything from it though? Either of you?
Yeah, of course, man, 100%. I'm sure he'll take his things, and I'll take my things. We're not gonna.
I don't believe so. I mean, at the time, if the fight was made at the time, I'd be confident in beating Ishmael.
Even you can't say that because we train and spar for a reason.
No, and he'd probably be confident in beating me. But I think that was 3 years ago now. I think he's a different fighter, and I'm a different fighter.
How do you think Belfast? How do you think the reception will be for Ishmael Davis?
Hostile. Listen, the Irish fans are the best in the world. You're never going to go to Belfast or Ireland and see a show that's dead and the atmosphere isn't crazy. So it's going to be noisy. It's obviously a historic night. It's right on my doorstep. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be noisy for him. And it's something that he has to deal with. I don't know if he's been in that situation before. Maybe it doesn't affect him. Maybe it will. I don't really look too much into that. Obviously, it's good for me to have the support and have my fans behind me. But yeah, it's going to be very, very noisy.
Bothered, Ishmael?
Hell no. Listen, this is me getting even just being a part of these things. I come from a different place, and I'm not getting into it, but this is me living my dream. So I'm looking forward to the booze. I'm looking forward to going there and proving everyone wrong, because I want some Belfast fans. So listen, I'm gonna walk in there and I'm gonna do the best I can.
I appreciate it's on the sofa, but this is the nature of this game. Caoimhin, can you tell Ishmael Davis how you believe you beat him on September 13th? What happens?
Whatever way possible, whatever is necessary on the night. One thing about me is that I adopt. That's my best attribute. People say you're fast, you're strong, you're explosive, you're this, you're that. My mindset and my boxing IQ is the best. So whether he wants to box, whether he wants to fight, I'll have a game plan for it on the night. And if I have to adapt in there, I feel like I'll beat him. I feel like I'm the most skilled fighter. I know he poses a real test, you know what I mean? Or he wouldn't be in the position he's in now. But I just feel like Caoimhin Agyarko wins in any way, whether I make it look pretty for 12 rounds or stop him in 6, it really doesn't matter to me as long as I get my hand raised.
What do you expect, Ishmael, in this fight? How do you expect Caoimhin to react to that opening bell, and how does this unfold?
He'll come out fast. He's going to be sharp. He's a good boxer, like he said, he is. But I've just got to, find my way of getting through that and breaking him down. So, listen, I'm excited, man. I hope he brings his best, because that's the version I want to beat. So, let's do it.
How do you do it?
Bring 100%, leave it all in the ring. And yeah, I'll be walking out of there a winner.
Get a handshake?
Of course we can. But men.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Cannot wait for this fight on September 13th. Ishmael Davis versus Caoimhin Agyarko. The talking very nearly over. I took a little walk around Windsor Park, of course, what will be transformed into the battleground on September 13th with two-weight world champion, the Jackal, Mr. Carl Frampton. Have a look at this. Well, here we are then in the home dressing room at Windsor Park here in Belfast, of course. September 13th, the rematch. Lewis Crocker versus Paddy Donovan, part 2. After all the controversy in March, they run it back this time for the world title. Carl Frampton, of course, with me, Carl, a man who boxed here. When you think about what's coming up, though, September 13th, live on DAZN, a massive night for Lewis Crocker, who, of course, is from just a stone's throw away here from Windsor Park. When Lewis is here with Billy Nelson going through his final preparations, this is the dressing room he'll be in. How do you think he'll be feeling?
He'll be nervous. He'll be nervous. Not that that's a bad thing. I think it's good. It's important to be nervous, and you can thrive off that and fight better sometimes when there's a bit of fear there about knowing how good the opponent is. And Lewis will obviously know how good Paddy is going off the first fight. But I know for a fact that Lewis Crocker is a much better fighter than the one we seen when the last time these two guys fought.
One thing fighters always talk about is that moment when you get the knock.
It's always nerve-wracking when you get that knock, but it'll be even more so for the boys, I think, because there's a world title on the line. It's a huge opportunity, and the winner of this fight, their lives are changed.
This place is going to be rocking.
It'll be unbelievable. It'll be a great atmosphere in it. I can't wait for it, and I think the city can't wait for it. There's a lot of hype about this fight already.
How do you compare the pressure?
There's not a lot of people expecting Crocker to win this fight because of what happened in the first fight, but I know, I think Andy and Paddy know deep down as well that Donovan's a very, very good fighter, but they know that the version of Lewis Crocker that night was a very poor one. And
this is exactly where the ring will be.
Right here, yeah.
Come September 13th. You've got happy memories here, but I guess, as we said, legacy.
It's the first time that two Irishmen have fought for a world title against each other. I didn't know that. I was surprised by it as well. We've produced some good fighters, over the years, and the fact that it's the first time it's happening just makes it a bit more historic. The controversy around the last fight, the fact that Lewis Crocker, you could hit his house with a stone from here. He's a blue man as well. He's a Northern Ireland fan. All the stars are lining up for him, but he's against a very, very good opponent in Paddy Donovan.
September 13th, a date not to be missed. From myself, Jamie Ward, from Carl Frampton, here at Windsor Park, and we hope you'll be joining us as well on DAZN. Okay, well, how good is this then? Delighted to be joined now by the third most powerful, most influential man in boxing today. Promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, look, I guess no shame. Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren and His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, you must be honoured.
No, controversial really, I think, to be honest with you. I mean, how I can be third on any list, I think is a disgrace, but what can you do? A lot of politics in boxing. You know, and the fact that there's two people apparently more powerful than me in the sport, quite outrageous. But what can you do?
Where were you last year?
Third. No, fifth.
Oh, that's good.
Listen, I've been top 5 in the list since it started. I don't know, like 10 years ago. So at least I'm consistent.
Yeah.
I didn't see you in there though, Jamie.
I think I might have been in the under 30s category, which comes out in
Oh
December.
right, okay.
Yeah, comes out in December. Keep your eyes peeled for that one, Eddie. First of all, I just want to thank you as well. Obviously, Flash Knockdown was started in a shed in your old house, and here we are. We've made the big time. So I just want to thank you very much for making our dreams come true.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm joining you remotely, and I see something saying Finchley Studio, and I'm just a bit concerned as to why we have a studio for your podcast when we used to just do it, like you said, in a broom cupboard in the office with no cost. So this better be a success, and it better do big numbers, because if you're hiring out studios and all that malarkey, you know, we need to see results.
I do want to just ask you, just to take the pressure away from myself, just another name on that list. Look, credit to Boxing News. Boxing's a game of opinions. But one that stirred up a little bit of talking point is Anthony Joshua being at 49.
Yeah.
I just wonder what you think about that.
It's almost like someone was having a laugh. I mean, listen, we love him, but God bless Frank Smith. What did he come in at? 19 or 20? What, and you put AJ at 49? I mean, you got people like Ben Shalom, Brian Peter. and AJ's 49. Ridiculous.
Do you think we'll see AJ this year? I mean, there was a lot of talk of this Jake Paul fight now. Looks like he's going to fight Gervonta Davis, which is a very interesting one. What are your honest thoughts at this moment in time?
I think, you know, as the time ticks by, it's probably more likely to be, you know, a January, February date, if I'm honest. I mean, you know, I don't think there's any value in us saying, yeah, December, you know, like at the moment he's traveling around, you know, he's in training now, back from the elbow operation. But these fights take time. You know, every AJ event is a massive event. You know, it was well publicised, the meetings that took place in Ghana over the last couple of weeks. There has been an offer to do a fight there. I think it would be incredible for AJ to fight in Africa. And again, when you're doing site deals, a lot of it depends on when that site wants the show. So if Ghana comes back and says, we'd like to go January or February, that's the offer. I don't think there's a tearing rush, albeit he's been out of the ring approaching a year. But any fight that he has next is likely to be that warm-up fight, if you like, for the roll the dice fight. You know, and we hope in an ideal world that's Tyson Fury. But if it's not, it's going to be another one of the top 5 that he will roll the dice against.
How does Jake Paul against Tank Davis go, in your opinion?
I mean, it's just bizarre, really. You know, I think when we had the approach from Jake Paul, I said to Nikita, this is not an exhibition, is it? I'm not interested in pillow gloves and, you know, 2-minute rounds or whatever. It's just a fight, and that's the only way we would do that kind of fight. And they told me that it would be a fight. Now you've gone from a 250-pound world heavyweight champion to 135-pound 5'6". I mean, it's bizarre. You know, you've got a cruiserweight fighting a lightweight. But I get it. You know, I get the whole freak show. You know, it's like I said with the AJ fight. It's almost like you're tuning in to watch something go wrong in that fight with AJ. I mean, that's a real heavyweight fight. Jake Paul stepping up one weight class to fight a guy that's much too good for him. Now he's stepping down, 7 or 8 weight classes to fight. I mean,
We're talking about the schedule coming up. Big fortnight for yourself, big fortnight for Matchroom as well. Obviously, on Saturday night, Pat McCormack returns to headline for the first time in Sunderland, and also you'll be over in Mexico with Sugar Nunes. It's, I mean, how did you figure that one out? Because Frank Smith's obviously in sunny Sunderland.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 3 shows in 7 days, and obviously Crocker Donovan the following week, which is massive, which we'll get onto. But I'm a bit, you know, I've got big plans for Sugar Nunes, I mean, firstly, we're expecting around 7,000 sellout at Los Moches in his hometown. And it's going to be really special to be bringing him back there. I feel like Sugar Nunes could be the new star of Mexican boxing. I really do. I think he has it all. You know, he has the power and he has the aggression of a traditional Mexican fighter, but he also has a tremendous boxing IQ as well. He's young and he lives the life. And I think the upside for Sugar Nunes is massive. I think he can be involved in some massive fights. So I took the plunge on Mexico City or Los Moches. It is actually 3 flights to get there. And I know that it sounds very appealing versus Sunderland, but Sunderland in September is also beautiful. Pat McCormack's at a really interesting moment now in his career where, to be honest, I want to go on a crazy run with him. After this fight, I think he should fight Conor Walker for the British and Commonwealth titles. I think that's one of the top domestic fights out there. You saw recently on the Zone, you know, how good those fights can be with Chamberlain against Rafferty. Conor Walker against Pat McCormack's another fight like that. And there's no reason for Ben Davison and Pat McCormack to keep the shackles on. Let him go. You know, this is a good fight against Parrott. It's a good step up. But once he comes through him, let him go. If this kid's as good as he's supposed to be, he should be fighting for a world title within 12 months.
And of course, as far as next week goes, massive night coming up, as you said, in Belfast. We've just had 2 fighters in a fight, of course, that takes place at that card at Windsor Park, bubbling up nicely. Ishmael Davis, Caoimhin Agyarko. Why was this a fight that we had to see at this time? Because, as I say, it's really bubbled up.
It's 2 talented fighters who are desperate to win and who have to win. And I think, you know, the narrative of the fight is brilliant. Caoimhin, whose back's against the wall a little bit in terms of, you know, he feels like he was probably frozen out a little bit. He's come back. He got that win at last minute. And now he lands a massive shot as co-main event chief support in front of what will be 20,000 at Windsor Park. And Ishmael Davis, who, you know, let's be honest, he's coming off 2 defeats. I mean, bizarrely, they both had, you know, he had a week's notice for both of them. And one was against Bohachik, who's top 5 154 pounder in the world. And the other one was against Josh Kelly, who's a very talented fighter, at a week's notice. So financially, that was a great period for him. But this is a tough fight for Ishmael Davis to fly to Belfast in Agyarko's backyard in front of 20,000 people and turn him over.
Final question, just before we bring in some questions from the fans. On that card in Belfast, Molly McCann, the professional debut. How do you move her, starting, of course, on September 13th?
You know, the truth is that Molly McCann is a very talented boxer. She was an ABA champion. She's got a great pedigree in boxing. But this is her first professional boxing fight. So when we signed Molly, you know, there was a discussion about making her really active, but also allowing her to develop quickly. This isn't someone who needs years. This is just someone who needs fights and ring time. So the plan is 6 fights at least in the first year, and this is the first of those. So to be honest, it really depends on the performance in there. You know, she may go in there and look sensational, and we go, okay, she only needs another 2 or 3, and then we're going to go into 10 rounders. Or, you know, she's rusty, or she's nervous, or she needs a little bit more, and then she'll be out nice and active. And you know, you can see on the pad, she's a quality fighter. She punches very hard, and she always comes with spiteful and bad intentions. And I think the fans are going to love watching the journey of what is one of the most, you know, high-profile, popular figures within combat sport.
Well, Eddie, this is a very important moment for Matchroom. It's a camera debut for producer Scott Hamilton, who is going to reel off some questions from the fans.
No one knows what Scott looks like.
Well, this is it, a world exclusive.
Disappointed or what?
A world exclusive. I mean, the female viewership's just gone through the roof. Here comes...
Has he got a Spurs jacket on?
No, he's got a company man rebranded Matchroom t-shirt on. So you won't see him on your angle, but we'll see him when the podcast goes out. Don't worry about that. So here is, for the first time ever, producer Scott Hamilton. Over to you.
Oh, that's what you look like. I didn't know.
It's been a while, yeah. Had a bit of training as well, so
it's nice to put a face to the voice, you know.
Yeah.
A couple of shouts from the fans there. The best thing to happen in boxing last week, First one is from Julian Parker, who says, the official link-up between Daniel Dubois and Johnny Fisher with Tony Sims. Both of these guys have got potential.
Just a quick one on that, Ed. Firstly, your thoughts on Johnny Fisher's link-up with Tony, and also a few years ago, how times have changed. Because if you'd have heard that a Queensbury fighter was down the Matchroom gym, you'd have thought there was a spy in the camp.
Really took me by surprise, if I'm honest. I mean, obviously, I speak to Tony a lot, and we're very close. But on stuff like that, it's not really our business. And I think it's a tremendous link up for both. I mean, both guys, Johnny and Daniel, were with very good trainers. Mark Tibbs is an outstanding trainer, and Don Charles is an outstanding trainer. Now, things happen in life and things happen in boxing, and sometimes you need a fresh approach, sometimes you need to move on. So we don't know what's happened there. Speaking on Johnny's behalf, there's no bad fallout with Mark Tibbs. He came off a couple of mediocre performances and of course a loss, and he felt like he needed to change things up. I think now bringing Daniel into the mix, and Tony's gone from having no heavyweights to 2 heavyweights, and 2 very popular, 2 very well-known heavyweights, and 2 heavyweights. Obviously, one is world level at the moment, and Johnny, I would say, he's floating around the domestic level at the moment and British Championship level. But I think they're going to bounce off each other well. So I like the link up.
Second shout this week is from Don Hunter, who actually reflects on a fight you mentioned a minute ago, Eddie, the Rafferty-Chamberlain fight. He says it was a great domestic fight. We need more of these.
One question I do want to ask you, Eddie, about domestic fights.
So what does he ask the questions and then
but
you
I had sort of like what I also want to know. I paint a bit more of a picture. I mean, obviously you've listened to every episode of Flash Knockdown as the years have gone by. So
loads.
Yeah, you'll understand that this is a recurring element, which we're hopefully going to have you on every week as well, which I'm sure you're over the moon about. But one fight was Peter McGrail against Shabazz Massoud, a great domestic fight, was meant to happen earlier this year. Do you think we see it this year?
I mean, let's start with the fans' question, shall we? Jamie?
Sorry, it's not all about
I would say I've been thinking a lot lately about boxing, about the content. We always, when you pitch a show to your broadcaster, obviously the broadcaster wants the biggest names possible, right? You need to drive subscribers, you need to drive viewership, and you generally do that by having a big name, right? So Rafferty-Chamberlain, from a viewership perspective, wouldn't have been as big as, I don't know, Wood Kakachi or Catterall against Eubank or other big domestic fights on the zone, because they're 2 guys with lesser profiles, but when you make that fight, it's going to be a really, really good fight, okay? But I feel like promoters, and this is me included for sure, sometimes feel that a British and Commonwealth title fight is not enough for a Saturday night offering, right? Even though that the product itself might be better than the product through a bigger name against another opponent. Do you understand what I mean? So, and I just lately, when I saw the response of Kieran Conway against George Liddard, which is another British and Commonwealth Championship fight, which is headlining our show in October, I started to think, maybe we do need to do more of these. Don't forget that British boxing was built during its fine years of the last 15 years out of those big domestic matchups. And, we mentioned another one there in Massoud against McGrail. Brilliant fight. I mean, that is a world level fight. But McCormack against Walker, another brilliant domestic fight. And what you see is 2 guys that who are going to go in there and give it everything. And that's what you saw with Rafferty against Chamberlain. That's what you'll see with Conway against Liddard. That's what you'll see with McGrail against Massoud. That's what you'll see with Walker against McCormack if that happens. And although it's for a world championship, that's exactly what you'll see with Donovan against Crocker.
We've got Pat McCormack in the studio a bit later, Eddie, so we'll prompt him on Conor Walker. And Conor Walker is on the show next week as well. So we'll get our pot stirred up, JB. But back to the questions. Leon B, it's a bit of a left field one, this one. He says the best thing to happen in boxing last week was Chunky coming out of retirement, even if it's in bare knuckle.
I got to be honest. I don't like it. And it's not I don't like bare knuckle. right? What? I just don't understand. I mean, unless the money's out of control, which I don't think it is, why are you coming back to fighting bare knuckle? I mean, Chunky is an Olympic gold medalist. He's a world champion. In fact, he was the first man to do it, wasn't he, from Britain? Win Olympic gold and win a world title, I believe. I just don't see, unless he just wants to go in and nick a few grand for a tear-up. But I didn't really think that was Chunky's style. So, yeah, I think bare knuckle, I think he's really growing. But I just don't like to see fighters that have achieved so much in the sport go down that route, personally. Just me personally. I'm entitled to my opinion. Just like whoever that was, Dave from Lincoln.
What's the dream matchup you'd make between two of your former fighters, bare knuckle? If you could make
bare knuckle?
Yeah.
Carl Frampton against Kell Brook.
Ooh. Special guest referee, Darren Barker.
Yeah.
Got two final shots this week. Hannah Stort says, another great win for Sky Nicholson. We want the Ellie Scotney fight.
Love the fight. I mean, I spoke to Nikita about it. I heard his comments, which was like, yeah, when Ellie was with Matchroom, they wanted that fight, but Matchroom wouldn't give her the fight. It's absolute rubbish. I mean, we had that conversation in my office, and I said she's fighting Tiara Brown. But after that, I think it's a great fight. But Ellie's got the title, so she's going to call the shots in that respect. And she's probably looking at it and going, all I want to do is get the final belt and become undisputed. Then I think she'll probably move up. I think Sky's a different animal at 122 pounds. I mean, she has dropped down a level of opposition because she's just trying to be active and trying to build on what she's, been working on in the gym. But I think she looks so good at 122.
Just finally, Eddie, before we do let you go, Netflix, big moment for you, big moment for Matchroom. On a scale of 1 to David Brent, where is it?
It's very David Brent. Very David Brent. I mean, it's a real thing, They followed me around for nearly 2 years and I was mic'd all the time. And I had cameras in my face all the time. So every show, before every show, after every show, you can't escape these people. And at first, I got to be honest, like I would have screaming rows with people, and then you look down and you realise you're mic'd, and then you look over and you got like Jake and the Netflix guys going, yeah, that was great. It's like, oh my God. And then you kind of want to say to them, I don't think we can put that in. But then you work with box to box and they kind of convince you that the rawness of it all is what makes it great TV.
Am I in it?
At some point, I think like when they come into the office, it sort of panned past you, putting something in a parcel or something. Or
it's not about you, Jamie. Bloody hell.
Oh, no. I've told my girlfriend I'm in it, so I better be, or it's going to be a bit embarrassing. Eddie, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be speaking to you again next week. Enjoy Mexico, of course. Catch all the action. Sugar Nunes against Diaz this weekend from Mexico, and, of course, over in Sunderland with the return of Pat McCormack. Here's a little look at the official Greatest Showman Matchroom Netflix trailer. Have a look at this.
I'm Barry Hearn, president of Matchroom Sport.
Talk to me. I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm the chairman of Matchroom Sport.
My son and heir, I call him my project. He's good, but he's not yet great. I'm fucking watching you.
We are the biggest sports promotional company in the world.
Matchroom started as a £100 company and now worth north of £1 billion.
Look at what the old man has done. I never wanted to work for my dad, but you have to play the hand you're dealt.
Eddie, he has ego. It's a weakness, and I won't give up control until I'm sure he's ready.
Boxing is an important element of the revenue stream, but only an element. We've got the greatest snooker player to ever play the game.
The biggest profit earner is darts.
There's no business that has the drama.
If I found out you knew about it, you're done.
The ego. Jesus Christ. What is that? The aggravation.
Oh, shit! You need fair judges next time.
The most important thing for my dad is winning. The world's come crashing down on us. I mean, what's going to make you feel better?
Please could I get a packet of pickled onion Monster Munch?
We need to talk about Conor Benn. We need to get him back in a ring.
Yeah! How you getting on with Jake Paul?
He's taken a number of shots at me,
Come talk.
and I ain't going to back down.
Show me what you've got. I'm going to make our company
Bigger and better.
than ever.
Let's go!
Global domination. Nothing less. I still don't understand why the shirt's off.
We're very happy to say joining us now in the studio is Mr. Pat McCormack. Pat, thanks so much for coming down. Firstly, of course, recent congratulations in order. Another little one for the McCormack family. That's 4 of you now, 2 little ones, a boy and a girl. How are you finding it all?
Yeah, got a little army there. Have a little football team soon. Yeah, fine. Obviously, I'm in camp a lot of the time, but when I'm home, it's nice to wake up with 2 kids.
What's it done for, I know it's an obvious question, but what's it done for you, do you think? Aside from motivation, but in terms of yourself and your own direction in life, what do you think it's given you being a dad?
To be honest, just some people to provide for. Obviously, want to give on my legacy to them. Want to give everything I've built to them, so just building the future for them, really.
And has it changed things for you in terms of the motivation in the gym every day?
To be honest, I'd be in the gym every day anyway, whether I had kids or I didn't have kids, but sometimes when it gets tough, I look at them and think, that's why I'm doing it.
When you think about where you're at now in your journey, big win against Robbie Davies Jr. earlier this year, fighting, of course, on Saturday night. But when you think about the activity, I think people want to see more of Pat McCormack through no fault of your own, through injuries and a bit of frustration. How difficult has it been for you at times to keep switched on?
To be honest, I think it's just a part of the game. Obviously, injuries come with the territory of being a fighter. You can't really help it. But listen, I'm ready to go now. I'm feeling good. No injuries. I'm ready to go.
And headlining in Sunderland, your first headliner.
First headline, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Flying the flag for the North East.
What does it mean to you, especially? Obviously, you're from Washington. But to be not in America, for those who are getting confused, but for those obviously growing up in and around Sunderland, Newcastle, is this an extra special moment for you, do you think?
To be honest, I just look at it as another fight. Obviously, it's just another ring, another opponent. But like people who like look up to and want to be fighters, like I'm someone to look up to. Obviously, I'm doing it. I'm bringing the shows back to the North East, and I'm showing everyone that you can do it, and you can go to the Olympics and win a medal, and you can turn professional, and you can headline. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just want to keep winning and bringing more titles home.
Miguel Parra, what do you know about this man in front of you?
Yeah, he's a good fighter, Mexican, tough, ready. He's been in some good fights, but more than ready to go.
We watched him in the most unique of settings when he boxed Shakram Giasov, who's a fighter you might be familiar with, Matchroom stablemate, when he boxed him in the Pier in Los Angeles last year. He boxed him on Santa Monica Pier. Yeah. What did you make of? Is that a fight you've seen? Is that a fight you've studied with Lee Wiley and Ben?
Obviously Lee Wiley breaks everything down and takes all the faults out and shows what they need to do. And they do all the work really, and then put into play in the gym. When
you think about this fight, then what do you believe will be the difference between you and Parra?
Boxing brain, preparation, and skills.
What's it like for you being in that environment with all these great fighters?
Yeah, obviously the gym's flying at the minute. Everyone's doing well. Big fights coming up, and everyone's looking to push on and obviously bring back world titles.
For you though, look, full focus on this fight, an important fight in your career to get that momentum and activity back under your belt. But a lot of talk has been made, also from your trainer Ben Davison, who normally is the type to play down this type of talk, which shows how much he believes in you. He wants you to fight for a world title next year. Yeah. But British title, people keep talking about you and Conor Walker.
Yeah, obviously that's the fight to make, isn't it? Just got to get this fight out the way, and I'm focusing on this fight, to be honest. Not really looking past this man in front of us, because he's a tough lad. But yeah, obviously British, European, that's all coming next.
Do you want to do it that way, that route? Or would you bypass certain levels?
Well, it's not really up to me, is it? But that's the way I'd like to do it. But whatever comes.
And in terms of the motivation then, like when you're hearing people like Ben talking about you being a world champion next year, you're seeing Anthony Joshua put on his Instagram story, poetry in motion, of a little clip of you on the pads. Talk to us about that dream. You talked about the kids and how it's feeding that dream, but Where do you see this journey leading?
Well, obviously world title, but there's a lot of steps along the way. British, Commonwealth, European, keep stepping up the ladders, keep winning, and hopefully we'll get there one day.
Lewis Crocker, Paddy Donovan.
Yeah, good fight.
You sparred either of them?
I think I might have sparred Paddy like years ago when we were kids.
Yeah.
On the GB squad, maybe.
Good fighter.
Yeah, good fighter. Obviously, controversial decision last time, but I think it's going to be a good fight. Obviously, it's at a big stadium in Belfast. It's going to be a good fight.
You must have an eye on that. I know you keep. Look, obviously, you have to focus on what's in front of you, but look, that's two fighters who are in the same stable with you at Matchroom in your weight division, fighting for the world championship. You must be thinking, I'll have the winner of that.
It's perfect. Obviously, the belt's closer to home with Matchroom, so fair play to them. The best man will win.
Who do you think wins?
I think if you go off the last fight, Paddy. I think Paddy will win probably. To be honest, he's a good fighter. And he looked dominant last time. He looked like he was in control, and he got the finish, didn't he? But obviously it was after the belt.
You should go. To be honest, I think you should be there, ringside.
Yeah, I might do.
WWE style. Under
Straight
the ropes.
in. No messing about.
A quick message to the fans, Pat, watching on DAZN this weekend. Like we say, can't wait to see you back in the ring. You top a card with so much great talent as well, it's safe to say, on display this weekend. But what's your promise to all those coming to watch you? And it's sold out as well.
Yeah, obviously just tune in. Big performance coming from Pat McCormack, and just tune in.
Pat McCormack, one of Britain's greatest ever amateurs, continuing to make his mark in the professional ranks.
Oh, 1-2!
Tremendous.
Mark Boo Boo Dickinson. Oh, big left hook. And the new English super middleweight champion.
Oh, beautiful punch picking from Sandy Ryan.
Good, flashy, classy stuff.
This is a Tang special, not just special, but the future in the heavyweight division.
The Tang does it in one. This could be the perfect liftoff. The fight starts now!
We've got a lot of special ones at the moment. They're all dangerous. You've got to be careful what's coming back all the time.
Well, here we go then. Episode 1 of the revamped series of Flash Knockdown comes, of course, with ye old faithful, the best quiz in boxing. We've called this one Face to Face to Face to Face. And as you can see, we have a brand new Flash Knockdown quiz leaderboard, which lies empty. And I can guarantee you after this, Pat McCormack will be top of the league. So let me hand over to producer Scott, who's going to tell us the rules for this fantastic quiz.
Thanks, Jamie. As Flash Knockdown viewers will recall, it's a bit of a stitch-up, but it's all for good nature. If you are top of the leaderboard, Pat, at the end of the series, you do get a charity donation.
Well, I'm the only one on there, so I hope I'm top. I'm top and bottom.
11 episodes to go still. That'd be great.
So the rules are, I'm going to turn around a bit of paper and it will flash up on screen. A face. The face is broken into 4 parts. You got a head, you got eyes, you got a nose and a mouth. 4 different people in boxing. You need to give me their names. There's 2 points at stake for each section, so you can get 8 points in total. If you want, you can ask for a little phone a friend, a little clue, which we'll give you. It might be useful, but it might not be useful. And you'll get 1 point for going down. So if you're ready...
Are you ready to play face to face to face?
I'm ready to play face to face.
The big unveil will come up on screen about now. So Pat McCormack. Who are we saying here?
Oh my lord.
It's 4 parts.
I've not got a clue.
We'll start with the hair.
You can start anywhere.
Is that the middle one Crawford?
Correct, 2 points.
The 2 bottom ones are girls. I haven't got a clue who they are.
Do you wanna?
I phone a friend of the 2 girls, but I don't think I'd know who they were anyway.
So the bottom one
is one of them Fondora.
No,
this is brilliant.
Bottom one is not a girl, and the clue is you might recognise me from the gym. So it's someone from the gym.
Oh, brilliant.
Fabio Wardley.
Correct, 1 point. The quiz.
He's always had a lovely
The one
chin,
above
Fabio.
is a girl. Correct. The clue.
He's got. Looks like girls' lips on Fabio.
Pat, you said that, not me, right? So you've got 3 points so
it.
far. The one above, you've also asked for a clue. The clue's not so helpful this time. It's I made my debut at Matchroom Fight Camp in 2021.
Shannon, right. Sandy Ryan.
Correct.
Oh, what an answer, Pat.
4
and the
points.
Top one. you need Boston?
Incorrect.
Good shout, though.
Do you want to use up a clue? We'll give you another shout. Do you want to...
Go on the phone a friend.
I beat you in the amateurs.
Shakram Giasov.
No. Joe Cordina.
Oh, Cordina. Doesn't look like his haircut. He was in the gym. He was in the gym not long ago. He
Might
didn't
be
have
an
that
old
haircut.
photo. Might be an old photo, to be fair. 4 points.
4 points.
2 points for Crawford, 1 point for Sandy, 1 point for Fabio. Top of the lead.
So that's
Mr.
max
Pat
points?
McCormack. No, 8 would have been max.
Well, how do you get more? Well, without
Two
the phone a
per-
friend?
Correct.
Ah. Well, Pat, listen. Are you ready? This is a special moment.
What's that? Number 1.
Here we go.
Go on, put it up there.
This
Get
is
it, get it at the top.
History in the
Flash
making.
Knockdown exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, top of the quiz leaderboard, Pat McCormack.
Nice one.
First win of the week, mate, and then...
Keep it coming, innit? Keep it coming.
I've got to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
I meant to speak to you about it before, actually. A Talma, mate.
Oh, he's a joke, isn't he? 20-year-old. Imagine when he's 24. What he's going to do?
But it's terrifying. It's terrifying. That he's
Oh, he's a
20 is
joke.
terrifying. And he's the most chilled... Like, when I've met him in the gym a couple of times. I actually ran up to him once to interview him, and he's like, whoa, like, chill. Out, slow down.
Nah, he's chill, But who would you put above him, apart from Usyk? Couldn't really put anyone above him, could you?
It's hard to say, isn't it? It's hard to say, because I don't think we learned too much more about him after the White fight. Like, that was obviously an incredible statement. I want to see him... I'd like to see him in, like, with Hrgovic or something like that.
I think that'd be the perfect fight. Obviously, Hrgovic was on the same card as him.
Yeah.
But he got cut, so he's probably going to be out a little bit with a cut. But listen, I'd put my money on Moses against anyone, to be honest. He's going to be special, that kid.
Did you know that, like, in the gym, behind the scenes, you can tell us now, did you feel like that was going to happen in that Dillian White fight?
Yes. But I didn't think it would be that quick.
Right.
But I wasn't surprised, to be honest.
Mate.
He's a joke, isn't he?
Yeah.
Future superstar.
Yeah.
Flying the flag.
Crazy.
Fair play.
Some gym.
I know the gym's flying at the minute.
Some gym. Top man for coming on, mate.
Spot on, Jimmy. Nice one.
There we go then, Scott. The rebirth of Flash Knockdown, as we said to Eddie, who would have thought it started in a shed somewhere in Matchroom HQ a few years ago, and here we are.
We've done something right. We're going up in the world.
We've made it.
Yeah, a little bit nervous though. I'm not going to lie. You've unmasked the Matchroom admin.
Well, so like for those who obviously haven't watched Flash Knockdown before, you run the social media, so being in front of camera is not something you're incredibly used to. But I think you've done a fantastic job for your first go. Have you enjoyed it?
No,
It's
wouldn't say
scary.
enjoyed it, but
Scary at first.
sort of embraced it. Obviously, we're going up in the world. We want to evolve the podcast,
Yeah.
so sometimes you've got to take the jump. So yeah,
Well,
a bit like Kane when he boxed Triple H and lost.
Yep.
Back in 2002
WWF.
or whatever WWF days, and he had to take the mask off. Now I feel like I'm out there now, but it is what it is.
So Flash Knockdown then, this is going to be, let's be honest, right? This is a weekly roundup, Matchroom news, reflecting on everything that's been happening in boxing. Promoter Eddie Hearn, hopefully, is going to be joining us every week to talk over those major talking points. We're going to be previewing all of our upcoming shows, running trailers, exclusive announcements are going to be happening on this show. We're going to have a whole host of guests coming in to the studio in person like we've had today, and also dialing in
Correct.
as well from all over the world. But 12 episodes in this series.
Correct, which takes us nicely to the week after Eubank versus Ben. So, yeah, planned for 12 episodes. We're going to be here every week, like you say, on YouTube as well as the podcast platforms. So, yeah, if you don't already, make sure you like, subscribe and all that mumbo jumbo.
Well, I think the idea is that this is going to be laid back, fun, easy to digest. I just get the feeling at the minute, in my opinion, that everything's a little bit saturated, which is a good thing because it means so many people are covering the sport of boxing because of how mad the last 18 months or so have been. But we're just seeing a little bit of everything, a little bit too much, I think, now. This is an idea where, like you say, it's not meant to be big, fancy podcast, TV show, a bit of fun along the way, no nonsense, some utter nonsense as well. But also, when you think about the rebrand and how things have changed recently, new little bits of content, getting rid of the host for the face-off, ordinary people where we're spending days with the fighters away from their training camp. This is pretty much the idea, just for a fun piece of content for the fans
it's
to enjoy.
another strand to our armour, isn't it? And talking of ordinary people, I believe you've been a busy man in the last couple of weeks. Talk to us about what you've been up to.
Yes, ordinary people. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, to be fair. We've filmed 3 episodes.
So Johnny Fisher has obviously been released.
Four. Dalton Smith, fly fishing. Went for pie and mash and a walk around Romford with Johnny Fisher. I spent the day with Paddy Donovan in Dublin, which I'm not 100% sure when it's being released, but obviously before the fight, we had an unbelievable day.
I saw a few clips in the office the other day.
Yeah,
was you scared? Because that horse was huge.
Yeah, so we went horse riding, and it wasn't like through the fields either, like down a high street in Dublin, going around the roundabouts, and it was carnage really. He did say to me, look, we've got no safety belts, so your life is in my hands pretty much. But I had to go. That was a lot of fun. We did some open water swimming, had a wonderful time with Paddy Donovan, went over to Dubai, not ordinary people related, and also spent some time with Lewis Crocker and Billy Nelson, which was a lot of fun, and you can see some funny moments in that in the Make the Days Count documentary that's just dropped on Matchroom Boxing YouTube. But yeah, ordinary people, basically the idea, who are these fighters? You know, as boxing fans, we like seeing fighters in the gym, especially before a big fight, you know, hearing about sparring and seeing the condition that the fighters are in, that's all great. But we just thought, like, who are the characters? You know, what I think to really become a fan of a fighter, it really helps to understand what their why is and why are they fighting, where do they come from, what was their inspiration to fight, what is their dream,
drive, yeah.
What's the drive, and that's the idea of it really. You know, one of the questions I ask in the programme is, this is called Ordinary People, what makes you ordinary? And you know, we're fortunate to know a lot of these boxers behind the scenes, and you know, they are very ordinary people, the vast majority of them, and lovely people with their own unique story, their own unique tale. And there's lots more exciting episodes of Ordinary People to come, but this Paddy Donovan one was particularly fun.
Hang on, you mentioned 4, so that's 3 you've mentioned. What was you doing last Saturday?
You've plotted this.
You know what?
You've plotted this.
You know what? I might show you. Get the picture up. Let's see if we can get the picture up on the screen. Give me a second. Let's have a look.
This is a stitch up.
Let's see if we can get it on that. And there it is. Jamie
Well, look,
Ward,
listen.
please describe what's going on in this picture
Okay.
with you and Tia Ayton.
Yeah, so that is me and Tia May Ayton. I spoke to Tia was a fighter that we really wanted to get involved in this series. Spoke to her team. I was like, what does Tia enjoy away from boxing? Their response was anime. And it just so happened that Anime Con was on in Bristol on a particular weekend in August. So I travelled down on a Saturday. Not my usual Saturday, I must admit, but enjoyed it nonetheless. Went down to Anime Con and spent the day with Tia. Dressed as Pikachu in true spirit, yeah.
I was going to test my Pokemon knowledge there, but that is Pikachu.
Yeah, come on, you know that.
I mean, to be fair, it kind of suits you.
Don't play. No,
You look kind of cute as well, mate. I think it suits you.
No, but like, look, listen. All right, I'm probably going to get a bit of stick off the hardcores for that one, but you know,
When's he coming out?
Can't take yourself
I need
too
to see
seriously.
this ASAP.
You can't take yourself too seriously in
true.
this game, Scott. That will be coming out soon. Obviously, Tia's fighting in Sunderland. Keep your eyes peeled for more announcements on when her 3rd professional fight will be. But I don't think it'll be too far after that, and I think it will probably be in between the 2 dates. But yeah, look, it was fun.
I just realised when we put that on screen there, I've still got you saved as Jamie the Runner.
The Runner with a sheep emoji.
So
what's that about?
Okay, so Jamie the Runner, you obviously joined Matchroom as a runner.
Yeah.
What, 5-6 years ago?
Blimey. I mean, that must have been, 6 years ago was my first
was your
T-Boy
first show?
gig. First T-Boy gig was when I was at uni, and that was... I came down from Glasgow for Lewis Ritson versus Patera.
Oh, mate, how good
So that
was
was my
Lewis Ritson
first.
night? Seriously, the atmosphere in those
He
shows.
lost that night.
Split decision.
Yeah, but that was my first gig as Darren Barker's T-Boy.
It's funny how things go full circle.
I know.
So
I know. Now we do the shows together, which is obviously... That's why we have the relationship we do, you know? It's brilliant, really.
And the sheep
Surreal.
emoji, I feel like I need to kind of describe that now.
You
Do
had
you
a big
remember?
coat on once.
You literally had a white coat on. You looked like a sheep. So I just added that emoji, and
Yeah.
it's sort of remained 6 years later.
Well,
mate.
this is the first time I've ever seen you without a coat on. For
True.
those who know Scott,
To be
you
fair,
know,
you've dropped that in down the years on Flash
I
Knockdown.
have.
The hardcores will remember.
one of the first things you ever, my first day filming with Dave Allen, and we were doing that sixes thing, you know, cricket.
That was brilliant, yeah.
And it was honestly about 30 degrees, right? And I went, mate, you're not hot with that coat on. He went, one for you to learn about me, son. I've always got a coat on.
I mean, to be fair, I did bring a Stoney down today just in case it
Yeah.
kicked off between Caoimhin and Ish. So, look, you've always, coats.
Yeah, I enjoyed the
it's my thing.
sofa.
It's my thing.
Look, we got a bit of pushback on the sofa at first. Is it going to go off? Is it a bit... I mean, I don't really know what the pushback was. I couldn't understand it because I just think...
Well,
like
we
I
had 2
said,
security guards on set, which
Yeah.
I don't know if the guys watching this will know.
And I've been
They wasn't
training.
keen, but it looked good
Yeah, like I say, like I feel like the face-offs, how many of them have we seen recently?
across the table. So we
Yeah.
could have sat them here.
Yeah, I just thought it was different, and it was good. You know, it's a bit intimate. You know, it's a bit uncomfortable, because of how close they are to each other. But, that's a great fight. But it was interesting you were saying about Newcastle. Obviously, that's the first gig. Lewis Ritson against Patera. And then obviously we're going back to the North East on Saturday for Pat McCormack, who, as Ritson was, British champion at that stage and the flag bearer. Pat McCormack now, Olympic silver medalist, all the talent. He's got his eyes on the British title now against Conor Walker potentially next. But this is his chance, really. First headliner. And he needs that momentum now, doesn't he? Big time.
And it's sold out like the Ritson days as well. So it should be loud. Obviously a slightly smaller venue, but the fans up there always bring it. Like you say, a big fight for Pat, really. I mean, Ben and Eddie are banging the drum on much bigger and better things. Yep. You mentioned Conor Walker. He's on this show next week, previewing Crocker Donovan as well. But
he wants the winner of Crocker Donovan.
Yeah, but look, I'm sure he knows Pat McCormack's coming down the fast track lane, so that's probably a fight for a lot of money. So I'm guessing, he'll have one eye on that as well. So looking forward to seeing how that develops. And can't wait to be in Belfast even next week. That's going to be an amazing week. But we've obviously got a show before then to preview.
Just a quick one. Mm-hmm. Do you remember in Newcastle when Lewis Ritson boxed Robbie Davis Jr. and the night before the show the fire alarm went off?
Oh my God.
Everyone the team hotel, everyone evacuated.
But it wasn't a fire alarm that just goes off and then you can just carry on.
Oh no, the whole thing was out.
Everyone was
in the car park. Martin Bacoli was fighting on the card, I think against Kevin Kingpin Johnson. He was downstairs with all his cases. He was out. He checked out. Adam Smith was in his pyjamas. It was everyone connected to the show, all of the Sky Sports guys, all of our team, all of the fighters.
That was a good build-up,
were all in the car park.
Do you remember the old thing backstage of Ritson and Robbie Davis?
Yeah.
What is it? You maggot?
Yeah.
That was a viral clip.
That was good.
Robbie hated that.
He did. But you know what we were talking about, domestic fights? That was one. Sometimes you just need a little moment
to spark,
to catch fire. And it's like, look, we've got that with Ishmael and Caoimhin. We've got that with Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz. Look, we love the mega fights. That's why we're in the sport. However, there's always something particularly that I love about a proper domestic British grudge match. In my opinion, special and hard to beat.
I'm looking forward to Dickinson and Williamson this week.
Yeah,
that ticks that box. Both men need to win to further their career. Could be last chance saloon for Troy, so looking forward to that one as well.
Well, Scott, episode 1 of 12. Looking forward to this. I think as far as first episodes go, that was pretty good. Bit embarrassing for you to wear the Company Man 11B T-shirt on your first day on camera. So at least you brushed your hair, to be fair. So, that's the first time I've ever seen you with your hair slicked back like that.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure if you noticed when the graphic come on screen how many unread messages I've had. I think you might have been on unread when you said to me, what are you wearing? And I just...
You panicked a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, Mr. Company Man.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get a little Brucey bonus out of it and
maybe
opens up for future endorsements.
Loyalty's king, Scott.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm looking further ahead as well. External clothing endorsements.
This is episode 1, mate. Keep your cards close to your chest.
I might wear this every episode now.
Yeah, and obviously this is also, a show to accept and appreciate the fans and the love we have for them. So at the end of the series, you'll be giving that shirt away to one lucky winner.
Gold pen. But genuinely, if you want to email into the show, you can do. flashknockdown@matchroom.com. We'd love to hear from you. Obviously, we were opening up on socials for questions for Eddie and whatnot. We'd love to get you involved.
And we've got stories to tell that I've never told.
Maybe we'll save that for the live show if we do one.
But if you want to know anything that's happened behind the scenes or anything, within reason.
Come on, mate. Yeah, within reason.
Within
definitely.
reason, I will tell you. I will tell you. Anyway, that's it for episode 1 of the brand new and revamped greatest show in boxing. Make of that what you will. Flash Knockdown, thanks very much to our guests. Of course, promoter Eddie Hearn, who, as I say, hopefully will be joining us every week. We know he is a very busy man. Thanks to Ishmael Davis and Caoimhin Agyarko. Thanks to Pat McCormack. And thanks to Carl Frampton as well, who joined me for that wonderful walk down memory lane around Windsor Park. Big double header for Matchroom on DAZN this weekend. Of course, firstly in Sunderland, Pat McCormack headlines for the first time against Miguel Parra, looking to set his sights on becoming British champion later this year in a big fight with next week's guests, Mr. Conor Walker, and of course also over in Mexico, the return of one of the most exciting fighters at 130 pounds right now, Mr. Sugar Nunes. You can watch all the action live here on DAZN, and you can watch episode 2 of Flash Knockdown next week. Thanks for watching. It's been fun. See you soon.
What a shot!